This may end up being the biggest jinx job that I've ever done. But anyway, Steph went 7 for 14 from outside, as well as some other things. This one was my favorite. Right after the jump ball, Wiggins recognizes, hey, if I set a screen for Steph Curry, some good things could happen. Jae'Sean Tate is already pointing to Kevin Porter Jr. because he sees what's coming. As KPJ and Jae'Sean Tate fight around the Wiggins screen, you can do everything right against Steph, and it's just not going to matter. Especially now, because as I said, the slump is definitely over. I feel like the Steph Curry, Kevon Looney two-man game is a little underrated. I mean, we talk about the Draymond Steph stuff all the time. Looney does such a good job fitting into the Warriors' offense, although on this play, it's more so Juan Toscano-Anderson who actually kind of serves as the Looney, if you will. Classic down screen for Steph Curry. And then from here, there's two guys on him, and just roll to the basket. Good things will happen. This Steph Clay action doesn't really develop into much. It's just a Clay fade away from about 15 feet. But I think there's a lot of potential for something with these two. In fact, they ran this at the end of the Nets game. Shout out to Half Court Hoops on Twitter for having it. I just feel like there's a lot of potential with a Clay Steph two-man game, Clay setting screens, and sure, defenders, they can try to trap and then get back to them. They can switch, whatever, but you put two amazing shooters in the same action like this, it's going to freak out defenders. Yeah, and it's like, okay, let's say they do that job of getting to Clay, which, kind of. Well, now Wiggins is wide open. It's just really, really tough to defend that sort of thing if they build on it to me. Let's check out a nice Steph Curry spacing assist. So he's about to enter the paint. Just keep your eye on him and notice how many rockets end up going to him across this screen. That is way too easy for Gary Payton II. Also, while I'm here, All-Star Andrew Wiggins, he played well. There you go. Moving on from that, we go to the Clippers, and Amir Coffey is really having a moment. In fact, it might not even be that much of a moment at this point. He's at 14 points a game in his last 15. He's had multiple 20-point games. If you take a quick glance at his numbers and all that, I think you'll mainly see the threes. But scouts were talking about him as more of a ball handler coming into the NBA. He's listed at 6'7", and I feel like the Clippers are experimenting more with getting him going downhill. Mainly off of down screens, handoff actions. We'll see if that develops into just more pick and rolls up top. He had a few really nice looking passes out of pick and rolls against Indiana about 2 weeks ago. His assist to turnover stuff has also been great as well. So far this season, he's got 68 assists and only 18 turnovers. There could be a really good passer in there. Of course, some of this is due to the fact that without PG, the Clippers need somebody to do something with the ball. But I feel like Coffey is proving that he can play next to Kawhi and PG and do more than just stand in the corner. He was undrafted a couple years ago. The Clippers have him on a two-way deal, and it looks like a pretty good investment. Now that all that's out of the way, let's get to the real stuff. Herb Jones had 0 points versus the Cavs, so it's going to be all defense. But look at him box out Jarrett Allen here. How much heavier is Jarrett Allen than Herb Jones? Doesn't matter. A very small thing Herb Jones does here, as Rondo's going to drive, and Herb is in the corner, he's just going to reach in. Did that make a difference? I don't know, but I'm going to assume it did. Herb definitely makes a difference on this transition play, though. It's credited to Valanciunas on a block, but if it wasn't for that initial thing where Herb just kind of locked up Isaac Okoro, I don't know what happens, but it's probably not a block shot. Or maybe it still does, I have no idea. Herb was at the free throw line, closes out to Chetty really well. And then with the Cavs having a chance to seal the game, clearly the game plan was just Josh Hart stick to Kevin Love, and that was executed well. No miscommunications there. Herb Jones does a good job of just sticking with Chetty. You've also got Valanciunas, who's not exactly staying glued to Evan Mobley in the corner. Anyway, Herb contests that shot well. Pelicans still lost, but still good stuff from Herb. Lakers repealed the lifetime season ticket to Jerry West. Jeannie Buss referred to Clippers owner Steve Ballmer as balls while discussing his pursuit of a new arena. Jokic orchestrates a live play. This is pretty cool. He's yelling at Bones Highland like crazy. Go the hell over there, run a handoff action. He's also telling, I believe that's Austin Rivers, to relocate to the corner. Get the spacing right. Gordon screen. Wesley Matthews, the dude's got to lunge his way up here. And then at that point, Drew's got to come over. Jokic is going to see the open dude. Sometimes when I see an NBA offense that's just kind of floating around, it doesn't have a specific thing, and then you see Jokic directing everything, it's like, oh yeah, some dudes are just really, really good.